We are still in the summer season and we continue to bring you more places and dining destinations for you to check out in this hot weather. Let us see what we have discovered this week. Watch this.
Jessie Roasa is a very young owner and proprietor of Persephone, a seasonal kitchen in Jupiter Street in Makati City. Before opening her own restaurant, Jessie was into photography, food styling, restaurant marketing, and even worked in a restaurant's hot kitchen. She learned everything she needed to learn before she took her first big step as a restaurateur.
And now that I'm finally here, it's like I'm very grateful that I was able to do a lot of different things. So it doesn't necessarily make the work easier, but at least I'm a bit more prepared.
Jessie loved cooking even as a young child and remembers spending time in the kitchen whenever they had dinner guests.
Made me feel like, I felt like this is my calling, my passion, ganun.
So here she is now with a restaurant that she can call her very own. A restaurant with a strange name that most of us have not heard of.
Persephone is a seasonal kitchen. And the way that we structure our service, our menu, is that we're constantly changing, we're constantly evolving. What I noticed about the Filipino food scene right now is that sometimes trends tend to stay stagnant or they tend to change really often. So one minute you can the market likes this thing, the next moment the market likes something else. And I wanted to be able to see how I could evolve with that. Having this opportunity to be able to change the menu and to get experimental as often as I can allows the restaurant to grow in a way that is, fun, exciting, colorful, vibrant, and yeah, that's basically what Persephone is.
Persephone is a Greek goddess, and Jessie has her own reasons why she chose the name.
And I think that ties in really well with the name Persephone, the Greek goddess, because she's both the goddess of spring, goddess of the underworld, and she's basically, the myth talks about how she's basically the reason why seasons change, right? So half the year it's springtime, summer, and the other half is fall and winter.
Here at Persephone, guests come not knowing what new thing to expect, and that is what Jessie wants.
Originally, my target market was the titas of Manila, mostly because I feel that my taste, or at least the restaurant's taste, really complements that of a tita of Manila. They're always looking for new places to have brunch or new places to hang out, enjoy like a small cocktail, or try out new food. And thankfully, based on what we've been getting so far, there have been a lot of women that have been passing by, and they really appreciate the ambiance, they appreciate the food. I think that the ambiance works really well for a date space or for somewhere to throw a bridal shower, and I believe that because we're very homey in our approach, people tend to feel comfortable naman talaga.
The restaurant's interiors are a pleasant sight to behold. She worked with the interior design group who helped conceptualize how to lay out the space. One whole wall is covered with pretty flowers that fit well the name Persephone, who is the goddess of spring. The flowers bring a breath of freshness indoors, a feminine touch that can appeal to anyone. The place can seat 30 to 35 people, but on many occasions that they had to close the restaurant for special occasions like bridal showers and birthdays, up to 60 can comfortably fit in. Persephone has been around for only half a year, but the response of the Makati crowd and beyond is very inspiring to Jessie.
One of the best things that I've gotten as an owner is basically how people respond to the food that we serve. And it's not the typical type of food naman talaga kasi it's plated pretty. We try our best to make, comfort food elevated to a point where it still stays comfortable, but we add notes of interesting into the mix. And a lot of people have been pleasantly surprised by the results, So we tried a few things, especially with Filipino food. How can we elevate Filipino food? And the reception has been great so far because everyone says that, oh, I love the recipe, or I love the taste, or I never expected that you could pair this with this.
She changes her menu 3 to 4 times a year, but thoughtfully retains the best sellers.
What they could look forward to naman talaga when they come here is, one, our fish balls, because that's been on the menu ever since. I don't have the heart to take it off the menu because I personally also still love it, right? And basically what we try to do was elevate, street food fish balls. Instead of having it deep fried in oil the whole day, we do it fresh. And yeah, we use seafood, we use mixed herbs, we add in like a little bit of vinegar, like the usual, but then we try to elevate the taste so it's cleaner. Other things that they could look out for, our chicken pesto is actually really good too, because what we do with it, instead of making it, just pesto sauce slathered all over the chicken, we mix it in with the rice. And the rice is a mixture of cauliflower and just regular rice. So everything blends in together, especially because we add mango salsa on top. And right now we're also working on a few new desserts. We're trying to get a little bit more experimental with that. So what we have right now is like a tamarind leche flan. So with the caramel, we infuse sampalok into the mix, just so it has that sort of interesting tang to it. And then we add peaches because for some strange reason it works. Sampalok and peaches, who would have thought, no?
Jessie laid out a table with some of her bestsellers. Here she talks about them briefly.
So over here we have a few of our bestsellers here at Persephone. So let's start with this dish first. Here we have the scallops and corn. And it's basically scallops on a bed of corn puree. And we also add some torched shallots, some cherry tomatoes, and chorizo on top. And over here we have our chicken pesto. So it's on a bed of cauliflower, 1/2 cauliflower, 1/2 normal rice, infused with basil pesto. On top you have grilled chicken and then some mango salsa on top. And yes, those flowers can be eaten. So masarap siya, promise. Over here we have one of our newer items on the menu that's actually selling really well. We have our fried pork belly with tamarind juice. And over here, if you're wondering what the discs are, they're basically our kind of funny take on hash browns. So instead of making them hash browns na thick, we made them into discs, so you have that extra layer of crunch whenever you get a piece of the pork belly. And lastly, over here we have our fruit pavlova. So a pavlova is kind of like a meringue, but what you get in the texture is that it's a little bit more spongy, kind of like a marshmallow, but on the outside it's all cookie. So we have it here with whipped cream, a mix of mango, kiwi, and strawberries, a little bit of almonds on top, some dill, but on the inside we have a balsamic reduction, which helps all of the flavors come together.
That is already one satisfying meal right there. But then again, since Persephone is a seasonal kitchen, there will be other choices that you may discover when you walk through that door.
For Persephone mismo, I hope that it comes to a point where we're able to craft a menu or craft a good amount of dishes for us to be able to share also with everyone else. Because I really believe that cooking should be accessible to everyone. I mean, I didn't go to culinary school. I started out just trying things or experimenting with things in the kitchen. And a lot of people just are strangely intimidated by the kitchen, right? But I don't know, possibly, but it's super in the distant future. Like maybe a recipe book, but then that's just me. Maybe a blog. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to impart a kind of experience to our customers where they're a bit more game to try new things, where they even possibly even want to try it out at home.
Jessie believes that good food should be shared, and that includes culinary know-how as well.
Hi, I'm Jessie, and I'd like to invite everyone to come to Persephone. We're located at 120 Jupiter Street in Makati, and our operating hours are from Tuesdays to Sundays, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. You can contact us via our Facebook page or our Instagram page for reservations or inquiries.
More exciting and interesting dining destinations coming your way only here on Places.